May we speak with the council?
Oh,
Yes, absolutely. You guys know the drill. I'm just going to take a couple deep breaths and they'll begin and then go to your questions.
beautiful.
Okay.
That was awesome, by the way. That was great.
Here we go. We are so pleased and delighted to have the opportunity to speak with you on this fine and glorious day indeed. While our words to you are important, this is a vibrational experience of remembering your infinite perfection and the love that you are. You are here because of your great love, and it's time to fully understand the power of the light that you are in your life and in this world. You are here during the greatest awakening of human consciousness that has ever occurred in any lifetime. You have gone through your own awakening, moving fully into realization to truly live as the enlightened master that you are. And every single one of you that are hearing this, either live or at some point in the future, we are speaking to you, no exceptions. You came as a realized master of great love. You have always been a realized master of great love. You will always be a realized master of great love. You can deny it. You can pretend that you're not. But it is who you are and always will be. And this is the perfect time that you have drawn to you the awareness so that you can remember who you really are, why you are here, and all that you intended when you chose this magnificent life experience. We will go to your questions.
What does it mean to create from the heart rather than the mind? And how does this shift impact the collective consciousness?
Well, most people are taught and trained to go to their logical mind to push and force and effort and take massive action to get things done. And while it isn't wrong, it is a habit of the third dimension because there is a limited amount of energy that you're summoning when you're in lower levels of consciousness. The third dimension is the dimension of separation, where you believe you're separate from what you want, from source, from others. You are in lack and limitation and fear. And so the level of consciousness you're in is determining the amount of energy that you're summoning, which is your own light into form. And so when you're in a lower dimension of consciousness, you have to push and force and effort and struggle. And you really can't do that with your heart. You do that through the logical mind. We encourage you to bring your heart, your mind, your body, and your soul all into harmony. They all have a powerful role in your perfection. But when one is first understanding all of their power, to go from the logical mind and create the habit of using the power of your energy center, which is the heart. You focus on going into the heart. You focused on going into the heart because your old habit was just to go to your logical mind. That's not what your brain is intended to do. When you go from your head down into your heart, you connect into an energy power source that you have to create, to raise your vibration, to raise your frequency, to summon energy, such that you may create your reality in a way that is easy and effortless and harmonious and fun. And again, there is also the physical body. There is the logical mind, there's the heart, but there's this incredible physical body that you have that allows you the opportunity to experience physical form. It's just as important. And then there is your soul, the part of you that is always guiding you. Your soul is the consciousness and the energy that is always guiding you. And so you intended to use your brain and your logical mind to interpret your physical senses, to analyze, to memorize. It serves a great purpose in the human experience. But you never intended to do so without the consciousness and energy and light of your soul that is what is always guiding you, that knows the divine orchestration unfolding here, that is always part of the divine symphony of perfection that is unfolding here. And so we would emphasize the integration of the heart, the mind, the body, and the soul into your absolute perfection and harmony with all that is. Really good question.
What is the current trajectory of humanity's collective evolution?
Humanity has already crossed the tipping point or the threshold to come into the great awakening, which is unfolding on earth at this time. You have more consciousness on earth than ever before, more love on earth, more light on earth than ever before, as a result of many of you stepping into your own awakening and realization. However, you are never going to rid collective human consciousness of the third dimension of separation and all that exists there. But as more and more and more come fully into the awakened state and into realization, they will elevate themselves individually and collectively, humanity as a whole, out of the third dimension of separation into the fourth dimension of transformation, which many are, and then ultimately into the fifth dimension of pure love. And if it is your choosing now, your timeline here and now can be in the fifth dimension of pure love and a new earth and your experience of heaven on earth. But the second you go back and you focus yourself into the collective human consciousness, which may be in an experience of lack or limitation, now you're contributing your energy to that. There is already a new earth collective consciousness that has been created. And when you're focused in peace and joy and love and harmony and raising your vibration and raising your consciousness and summoning more energy and being more the light and the love that you are, you're focused into that fifth dimension of pure love consciousness or new earth consciousness or heaven on earth consciousness, which is rapidly expanding and will someday become far-reaching and widespread throughout all of humanity's collective consciousness.
Why does the human experience often rely on pain or challenge for expansion? And is it possible to evolve purely through joy?
Absolutely, indeed, you can evolve exclusively through joy and love and peace and harmony and well-being if you believe you're worthy of it, if you believe it's possible, and if you choose it. In some cases, your habits are so strong that the only way to get your attention is through pain or trauma or challenge. Some only find their own awakening or realization through pain. It doesn't have to be that way, but if nothing good ever comes easy, and that's a belief you have, you'll take the difficult, challenging way because you don't believe you're worthy of the easy, effortless, harmonious way. And so it's a level of consciousness. It is really about your level of consciousness. The third dimension, when you are in the heaviness of the third dimension and not summoning a whole lot of energy, your body's not going to heal very fast. But in the moment you elevate your consciousness into pure love, your body starts regenerating and rejuvenating its natural state of well-being expeditiously. But again, it all comes back to the level of your consciousness. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So your feelings of unworthiness, not good enough, what's wrong with me are always going to entangle you in lower dimensions of consciousness. The third dimension, separation, lack, limitation, fear, struggle, effort, force, pain, disease, poverty, all of those things. When you move into the fourth dimension, that's the dimension of transformation. You can change things. You can transform things. You're not your circumstances and conditions. You can change them. You can transform them. You can change your body. You can change your relationships. You can change the way you look. You can change your finances. And that's more empowering than to be in the third dimension. And there is more energy in that dimension of transformation because you're in a higher level of consciousness, summoning more energy than being in separation. But your ultimate purpose and potential is to come into the fifth dimension of pure love. And to do so, you must move out of judgment about what's wrong with you, about what's wrong with these circumstances and conditions. So when you go beyond judgment into pure love, you see everything from a grander perspective. You see how everything is happening for you to bring you into new levels of your power so that you can get clear on what you really want and create your reality the way you want it to be. And some people would say, well, I'm in so much pain and life's been so hard, I don't even know what I want. And to you, we would say, you absolutely do. Do you want sickness or do you want health? Do you want poverty or do you want abundance? Do you want pain or do you want joy? Do you want fear or do you want love? You all want joy, peace, love, harmony, freedom, well-being, abundance. You all want the same things. And within that, there's every potential and possibility and opportunity available to you. And so when you say, I don't even know what I want. My life's been so difficult. I've been in pain for so long. I don't even know what I want to create. You do. You want health. You want well-being. You want peace. You want love. You want joy. Just the shift to, I do know. I know. I want to experience harmony in my body. I want to experience peace in my body. I want to feel good in my body. I want to feel healthy. I want to do the things I love to do. You know what you want. Good question.
So we hear a lot of people talk about the new earth and how there could potentially be two separate earths. Is there also going to be two separate humans? And if so, is this new human going to evolve physically? And what will that look like?
Well, let us explain it this way first. Understand that it's different levels of consciousness. And you already see examples of this all over. Think about a place where you have gone on Earth somewhere, a town, a part of a city, where you went, ooh, I don't like it here, and these aren't my people. I don't fit in here. I don't belong here. I'm not comfortable here. And then think about another part of the world or place that you've been. It may be your home, but it may be someplace else where you go, I love it there. Those are my people. I want to be there all the time. I feel so good when I'm there. There's like-minded people there. The things that they do there are the things I love to do. You all can come up with some sort of example like this. And the perspective of the new earth is no different. It's got a different vibration. It's got a different state of consciousness. It attracts different people. These two different locations that you're thinking about, the one that you prefer and the one that you don't prefer, there's a different level of vibration there. There's a different level of consciousness there. That consciousness and vibration attracts different types of people and different types of opportunities or lack of. And so think about it like that, because it's already happening. There's already places that you love and people that you love and areas that you love that you feel really good there and they feel really aligned there and the consciousness feels higher there and the vibration feels higher there and it feels like there's more energy when you're there. And so take that perspective into a new earth. You are creating essentially a whole new potential and possibility within the human body and in the human experience for any and all who are ready and are choosing it. And so you don't have to push against what you might refer to as the old earth. Again, you're never going to rid the old earth of the third dimension. And that's what so many people try to do, and they get frustrated and meet with a lot of resistance. They're trying to change everything and everyone so that they can have the reality that they want to experience. And we'll say the new earth and its consciousness and all of its opportunities and potential and possibilities and all of the amazing people that are already living it are here and now and available to you. You get to choose. And indeed, because you're in a higher level of consciousness, you're going to be summoning more energy, and you're going to have a lot more potential and possibility within the physical body and its capabilities and its efficiencies. And you will live in higher levels of vibration and light and frequency. It's all your light. And you will find that there is no more disease. There is no more decay of the body. You come into the physical body, you play, you create, you have fun. And when you're complete here, you peacefully, intentionally, joyfully release the density of the body and continue your journey in higher dimensions of consciousness beyond physical form. There is no death. There is no decay. There is no disease as a way to make your transition. Because you're living in such levels of consciousness, you know that that can be a peaceful, harmonious experience. And there's many other examples. But again, you cannot take your unworthiness, your shame, your guilt, your pain, your trauma, your struggle, your chaos, your lack, your limitation, your fear. You cannot take that into the new earth. And so the best analogy that we could give you, and you say, well, how do I get to the new earth? Imagine it like an airplane sitting at the tarmac, at the gate, ready and waiting to take you on the vacation of a lifetime to the life of your dreams. The plane is pulled up to the gate waiting for you. And you say, I'm going, I'm excited, I'm going to the new earth. You're all ready, you're going to the new earth, and you get to the security checkpoint, but you've packed unworthiness, a habit of lack and limitation, struggle, doubt, frustration, resistance, anger for things that happen to you, judgment of people and things. And you get to the security checkpoint, eager and excited to get to your plane to take you into a new earth and your experience of heaven on earth. And the security person says, you can't take this stuff with you. You either have to leave it behind here, throw it in the trash, or you can't pass through the security checkpoint. And so what's happening for most people is they're coming into knowing their infinite worthiness. They're aligning to their abundance and their well-being. They're going beyond forgiveness into knowing that there's only love. They're living in peace and harmony within themselves. So they get to the security checkpoint and they say, welcome aboard. So what most of you are doing, or what a lot of you are doing, is transcending, not your physical body ascending out of the physical form. You are transcending shame, lack, limitation, habits, negativity, judgment, all of these things. And as you transcend, for example, your own belief in lack and limitation, you raise your vibration, you start summoning more energy. Then you transcend unworthiness, you raise your vibration, you're summoning more energy. And you get to this point where you come into realization of all that you are, and the past is healed, and you are in your wholeness and your completeness and your perfection. You are in a state of pure love. Your well-being and abundance is assured. The next perfect step comes to you. You live in the magnificence of true creation, where what you want and need shows up even before you know you need it. Opportunities, potentials, and possibilities show up, and it's a yes. It comes to you. And you will know as you realize that The new earth is here and now, if it is your choosing. You're here to experience your heaven on earth. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
What guidance would you have for someone who has wanted something for so long that is not happening and cannot seem to unwant this thing or erase the desire, but it seems almost torturous?
Well, it sounds like it's very, 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 very specific. And even if what you want is already your reality, you can't see it, you can't experience it because it's so specific to you that what you're focused on and the meaning you give it won't allow you to see it as your reality. So let's take, for example, abundance or money specifically. I want more money or a certain amount of money, or I want this physical healing, but it hasn't happened, or I want the love of my life, but they're not here and I've been waiting. When you're holding yourself in that resistance, you're constricting, you're lowering your consciousness, you're lowering your vibration, you're not summoning a whole lot of energy, and you're not going to experience yourself as a very powerful creator. The other thing is that what you are perceiving is going to determine what you experience. So if your perception is, it's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening, I'm looking everywhere, I don't see it, it's not here, it's not happening, that's what you will continue to create. So we say that, first off, your dreams and desires are inspired within you by your soul for the purpose of expansion. You're here for expansion, you're here to express yourself, and you're here to choose the experiences you want to have for you. So if you shift the specificness of what you have wanted that isn't here, how can you shift it to not I want it, but how fun would it be to experience, and then allow it to be general? So make the shift from I've wanted it for so long and it's not happened, to how would it feel if it did? How would it feel if it did? And how fun would that be? How fun would it be? How would it feel to experience that thing? Start to shift into that, and you'll find that there's a lot less resistance. We say that someone who has wanted something for a really, really, really long time, and they've had a vision board, and they've meditated on it every day, and they visualized, and day after day after day after day after day, even though they think they've put all this energy into it, that is far less powerful than a shift in your perspective, where in this moment you have an inspiration and you experience the instant manifestation because there is no resistance to it. And so the shift to how would it feel and how fun would that be? Do you want to give us a specific example?
Maybe somebody who is looking for love in a family.
So again, when someone says, I want love, and I want the love of my life, I want my soulmate, and I want my children, it's very specific. My soulmate, my children. You are being so specific that unless it's mine, there's no love. And you don't have love, and you don't have love, and you don't have a family. And you continue to focus on and give meaning to your experience and create the reality of, I don't have love and I don't have a family. If you shift that to think of all the people in your life that you do love. Think of the people in your life that may even be friends or pets that are your family. I do have a family. This friend of mine is family. This dog, this cat, they're family. I have this person that I love and that person I love. Look at all the love that I have. Start thinking about the people in your life and what you love about them. Start focusing on all the people that have come into your life and just instantly felt like family to you. I do have love. I do have family. That shift in your perspective creates an opening and instead of the resistance that you've had, it is the shift in your perspective that can allow your reality to shift almost instantly. But again, why do you want the family? Why do you want the love? What are you going to feel? What would you experience? Go find some way in this day to experience it right here, right now. We had a student once that came to us and said, I have this dream in my heart that I've wanted for so long, but it's absolutely impossible. And we said, what is it? She said, well, I'm 70 years old and all of my friends have grandchildren. And for the longest time, I've wanted grandchildren, but I'll never have grandchildren because I never had children. So this dream of having grandchildren is not possible for me. And this thing I want, I can never have. And we said, okay, well, in the spirit of anything's possible, that you can go into your imagination and create your reality the way you want it to be. If you were to go into your imagination, how many grandchildren do you have? And she said, I would have 3. And we would say, how old? And we said, how old would they be? She said, this one would be this age, and this age, and this one would be this age, and there'd be 2 girls and a boy, or 2 boys and a girl. And we said, well, what would you do with your grandchildren if you had grandchildren? She said, oh, I would bake for them. They would come visit me. We would color and we would do art projects and we would eat cookies. And how fun would that be? And so we said, okay, instead of focusing on how you can never have grandchildren, whenever this desire comes up, we want you to go into your imagination and play with your grandchildren there. What would you do today with your grandchildren? Oh, I would bake peanut butter cookies today. And we would color with water paint today. We would do this paint by number water painting. Okay, perfect. Go do that in your imagination. Well, about a month later, a new family moved into the house next to her. And she went over to introduce herself and met the woman of the household who said that they had just recently moved there from out of state for her husband's job, and they had 3 children. And that they were adjusting to the move because they missed their grandparents so much back from the place they used to live. And so she started baking cookies for the new neighbor kids. And they started coming over to visit her after school and on weekends. And she started creating little art projects for them. And although in her imagination, she might have had 2 girls and a boy, and in this reality, there were 2 boys and a girl, she literally was having the experience of feeling the love and the joy and the fun of having grandparents and grandchildren together. She could be a grandmother to these children who missed their grandparents so much. And she came back to us and said how amazing and happy she was. And then the question might be, so did I really create this family? Did I manifest this family moving here? Or were they in trajectory to me already such that my soul and my higher self already knew the joy I would feel being a grandmother to these children, which is why the separation I had created was so awful? And to that we would say, both. Yes, you are the powerful creator, and there is divine orchestration going on here. And sometimes right before the realization or the shift that allows you to experience what you want as reality is the most painful part, because it's already in